And we're back with David Goldstein live at Biltmore Loan in our studio. So in case you missed it earlier, we had a little segment where we went and visited you. We met a woman named Debbie, and you gave her some news on her jewelry. She had some appraisals and things that wasn't so great for her. She was hoping that those numbers would be a little bit higher. Before we delve into why that happened, explain the difference between the appraisal and the value of something.
You know, the word appraisal is a word that really throws a lot of people, because we appraise a house, and if we pay for a house $1 million, it gets appraised for usually within 5% of that price. When we buy a car, it has whatever we paid for it is the value of it. In jewelry, for some reason, the marketing scheme from many, many years ago was, we're going to sell you a piece of jewelry, and then after we sell it to you, we're going to give you a piece of paper that tells you it's worth 3 to 4 times that amount. I've always been kind of a rebel when it comes to that. I sort of feel like,
no surprise.
you know, yeah, it wouldn't surprise you, would it? You know, I always say to myself, if I'm going to buy something for $10,000, I'd like to believe it's probably worth $10,000.
Right.
If they tell me it's worth $20,000, then I'm saying to myself, is that really what it's worth? So we talk about an appraisal, and I get so many people that call us all the time and ask for an appraisal. If you're looking for an insurance replacement appraisal, that's one thing. If you're looking to sell something and get the value of it, you don't need to pay for that. That's just an evaluation.
You don't need to pay to get that number.
Correct, for that evaluation. Now, people so often get this appraisal, and then they feel so good about those numbers. Well, I think that's kind of misleading. So if you would, the reason that an appraisal is written for those numbers is if you were to go out and ask me and show me a piece of jewelry and say to me, how much would it cost to replace this? It would cost me to manufacture it plus markup. There's a cost.
Right.
When I buy estate jewelry, you're not paying for the labor, which is 50% of the cost of jewelry. Okay, you're not paying the retail markup. You're buying the sum of the parts, the gold, the diamond, the metal, and what those values are. And it's so important to understand that when you think to yourself that this would be worth so much more if I had to make it. So that's one of the beauties of buying estate jewelry, as well as selling your product. When you sell it, you're going to get the sum of the parts. Now, if it's a signed piece, if it's made by a famous person, a famous manufacturer, that brings a premium.
Right.
But so often...
But you won't necessarily find on paper.
You will not, and that's when you come to the experts.
Right.
So you're looking at these 2 certificates, and it's interesting. You look at Debbie's first ring here, and you'll see she decided to keep that, and she ended up having it remounted. She was sweet enough to let me take this today to show it, and we actually made her a new ring for it, and that's her new ring because she didn't like the evaluation. But that was a GIA certificate. So that is, as we say, the gospel. They're a nonprofit organization that actually monitors the trade for ethics. The EGL is a for-profit organization. Basically, the more certificates that they, certificates that they sell, the more money they make. So they're trying to get you to send it to them instead of GIA, and consequently, what do? They're a little more lax on the grades.
Interesting.
So then people think they're getting a better value. Never played this game in the 40 years I've been in the business. GIA tells you what you got. If you're a buyer or consumer out there, I can only implore you, think GIA. Do not get fooled by EGL, IGI, AGS, all these other names that try to sound like GIA. GIA is the nonprofit organization and really makes the biggest difference.
And there you have it. Why you take your stuff to find out what it's worth. David Goldstein, thank you so much.
I love coming here. It's such a pleasure.
Really good information as always. I learned a lot today. And if you would like to find out how much your stuff might be worth, you can email them at info@biltmoreloan.com. You can also give them a call. They'll set up a free evaluation for you. Stop in, visit them, set up an appointment at the Scottsdale location, 480-991-LOAN. Visit their Chandler location, 480-705-LOAN. You can also visit the website to learn so much more. It's biltmoreloan.com.